All right, it's 10:10 p.m. Friday, July 10th. Friday, July 10th. I'm happy it's Friday. Hopefully everybody had a great day. Everybody's outside chilling. Um, People healthy, drama free, like we always say on this podcast. Drama free, no nonsense. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Whoever checked out the broadcast yesterday, we talked a lot. We were supposed to talk about basketball players from the neighborhood, street ballers. Street ballers. We were supposed to talk about a lot of stuff yesterday, but the conversation kind of got carried away. Not in a bad way, in a good way. We ended up turning the conversation around. We were supposed to talk about Lenny Cook and stuff like that, and we wasn't gonna make the whole podcast about Lenny Cook, but we were gonna talk about what he did, what he brought to the table as far as sports, basketball, inner city hoops and whatnot. And we ended up talking about racism because we kept it on that topic for the whole podcast. If you didn't check the podcast out, you can always click on the link in the bio if you're on Instagram. Um, if you're just now listening, you're a new listener, we're on every platform. We're on Spotify, we're on iHeart, we're on Apple, we're on Google, we're on all the platforms. All of them. We're just not on Tidal yet. But that's coming. Don't worry about it. We're coming. Once we hit Tidal, it's on. You already know. So yeah, so yesterday we were talking about the racism thing. I mean, it was big, it was healthy, it was a long conversation. It was like stuff that we need to get this stuff off of our chest because, like I said, we're human. We're people. We're out here. You know what I mean? We're around. We work. The foreigners they work hard just as hard as the rich people work. Probably even harder. Probably harder. But shout out to everybody out there that's not for the shit. That's not with the racism, not with the nonsense. That's for making a change in this community, in these communities, and that just wants to see their kids have a better life. Because we don't need it. The bottom line is we're gonna die one day. We're all gonna expire. We're gonna expire, and we want the world to be comfortable for our children and grands and great grands to live in. When it's all said and done, we want them to be able to look back and talk about what we did, or what they seen us do, what they grew up in. We don't want them to have any no horror stories. Definitely not. Definitely not. We don't want them to have a bunch of horror stories. Like our ancestors, they got nothing but horror stories. We want to give these kids a better life to live. Education. They're entitled to a good education. We just want to make the world a better place for them. You feel me? So today we talking about street ball legends. And if you're on Instagram, while you coming in, I'm gonna tell you to bring up a name, put a name out there, and we're gonna discuss that person. A second shutdown. We're also talking about what if are we prepared for another shutdown? Because you never know. We might go into another shutdown. Who knows? And it's supposed to be Freestyle Friday. Again, no artists pulled up to the show. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Like I said, my platform will still be here if they come or if they don't come. So today was supposed to be Freestyle Friday. So shout out to everybody that's out there that's chilling, that's doing their thing. It's Friday. If you got something cooking in the stove or in the oven, you ordered food, man, enjoy it. It's Newwave Podcast. We won't get the show started. So today, before we get into the street ball, I was watching, a friend of mine sent me a video. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. They were trying to clean up the mess that they're in with the young boy, August Alsina. You know, so they tried to clean it up. And if you didn't see this video, you know, a lot of people are from like different countries and stuff. Like, they don't watch it. They don't get what we get. But Jada Pinkett got up there and said how the boy was in so much pain and he was hurting and she was entangled and all this crazy shit. Look, dog, look, Jada and Will, bottom line, they're some weirdos. They're some rich, dumb motherfuckers. They rich and they crazy as shit. They try to spin that shit and make themselves look good in the process. And in the same process, they tried to make the young boy look like he was crazy. He needed help from her family. He needed help, so you gave him some pussy. You know what I'm saying? Jada she's a funny chick, and she looked like a real kinky broad. You know, and then Will Smith just sits there with that goofy ass laugh. You know, he's like, you can't tell me he wasn't embarrassed by doing that shit. That whole situation they on fuck y'all put that. Why you just don't ignore the shit? Y'all didn't have to say anything. Y'all could have kept that shit like where it's at. On the internet. Now y'all the butt of everybody joke. People got these crazy Will Smith memes, these Jada Pinkett memes. And she just looking dumb as a fucking doorknob, dog. She just really out there. She's really out there. Like, everything she said sounds suspect. And the way she tries to say it, like she's just this fucking... She's this fucking love wizard or some shit. Like, bitch, you was fucking the dude. Why you can't just say, yo, I gave him some ass. Alright? We ain't got to get all technical, but you talking crazy about he was this and he was that. The young boy got them yams. He smashed it. And you looked it crazy on TV today. Real dumb. Real dumb. Talking about your marriage was falling apart and trying to blame this shit on your marriage. Like, you wanted the dude had some game. He bagged you and he fucked you. That's it. It ain't no more to it. It ain't no he was crazy and he was looking a little awkward and this, that, and the third, baza, and your family had to take him in. And like, yo, y'all didn't have to take that young boy nowhere. You took him in. You took him in. Because he was piping that down. He was piping that down. He was knocking that off. So it's really nothing you could have said. Only thing, your best thing to do was just fuck it. Don't even say shit. You grown. You an older woman. Now you got dudes about to be hitting your door like, yo, Jada, like, motherfuckers gonna disrespect you now. Nobody gonna have no love for you. Like, motherfuckers gonna try to shoot they shot. But now they know y'all on some other shit. They gonna try to shoot they shot at Jada. And Will Smith ain't gonna be doing nothing but sitting there watching. That shit gonna make him so mad, he gonna try to go get another shorty and step out on a joint. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But the boy August Alsina, man, that youngin, you should have never went on fucking that little podcast, whatever it was, and did that. You should have never did that. You should have just been on some chill shit. You should have been on some regular shit. Like, dog, you ain't have to get up there and say all that. Because if you're going to say it, say it. Don't say it like no little kid. Like, oh, well, like, make it look like she took advantage of you or some shit. Like, you was a part of a fucking sex cult or some shit, dog. Get up there and say that shit with confidence. Own that shit. That's Jada Pinkett, dog. Own that shit. You talking for every young boy that had a crush on her. So now you like our spokesman now. So when you come off on some soft shit like, oh yeah, I said I was really upset and this, that, and the third, and she did this and she did that, you sound like a bitch. You sound like a bitch. So when they made you look like you was crazy, that's how you sound when you was talking, saying how you smashed and shit. You sound like you didn't come off like somebody that meant business. You sound confused. Like you didn't even want to say that shit at first. You didn't sound confident when you was talking. That's why a lot of people probably thought you was lying. But if you're gonna spill the beans, dog, spill the beans. I bust Jada Pinkett ass on some real shit. I wowed on her. Had her doing all types of crazy shit. Real rap. And that shit was on and popping. You know what I mean? Tell the story the way it's supposed to be said. Don't just get up there and expect people to feel bad for you because you fuck Jada Pinkett, nigga. Like, nobody gonna feel bad for you because you did that. People gonna be happy. They gonna be happy. They gonna clap their hands. They gonna want to know what the fuck, how you do that? How you pull that off? Shout out to Will Smith, because you just look like a fucking jackass. Word. With that phony ass laugh and shit. Like, dog, you just look stupid up there. You know what I'm saying? You really looked dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to you, dog. You like, you could tell Hollywood played a major role in your life. Because the acting was looking crazy. They were really acting like they gave a fuck about this shit. Like they was acting, putting on a fucking whole charade and shit. This shit looked bugged out. This shit was crazy. Will and Jada. Fucking open marriage having motherfuckers. Like, just letting Will, like, oh, fuck it, fuck my wife. You know what I'm saying? The whole shit looked crazy. What's happening, dog? The whole shit looked crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when I say August Alsina should have owned that shit. He should have, when the minute he said he fucked Jada Pinkett, he shouldn't have said it the way he said it. He should have said it on some nigga shit. Yo, I was like this, and like I said earlier, I was in the room and she gave me some pussy. Straight up, I fucked the shit out of her. Yeah. And her head game was vicious. Her head game was vicious. Jada Pinkett suck a mean dick. That's how he's supposed to say that shit. You're not supposed to say, this is a grown ass woman. This ain't like, dog, you supposed to come out and say it the right way, not like, you know what I'm saying? Now they wouldn't be making you look like you crazy on their platform, because now she told me he needed help and he was like this and he was like that. Look, my nigga, if you would have came at her the right way, she probably wouldn't have did no TV show today. It wouldn't be no show. It would be the bitch hiding, ashamed, because goddamn, he talked about my ass and shit. the birthmark on my back and all this shit. You got to let the motherfuckers know. Don't play with this shit. Because on some real shit, like I said, August Alsina, all of us wanted to fuck Jada Pinkett at one point in time. Emotional therapy, right? You know what I'm saying? What type of emotional therapy the nigga need? He, all of a sudden, he crazy now, y'all think? See, August Alsina, all of us wanted to smash Jada at one point, right? You speak for us. So you gotta hold that shit the fuck down, dog. You gotta get out there and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You gotta wear that shit like it's a Superman, like a S on your chest, dog. You pull up on an interview like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to get all fucking smart and shit because you got glasses on and shit. Don't get all smart on TV. I wore that bitch the fuck out, man. Real rap. Her and Will wasn't seeing eye to eye, so she needed me. She needed the fucking therapy. She pushed up on me, and I smoked that bitch. Right up, straight up. Yeah, keep it 100, man. Don't keep it a bean. Like, don't bullshit with this shit, cause now this shit is all over the internet, and now people gonna be looking at you like you the clown, cause of the way you did the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know niggas ain't supposed to be, motherfuckers ain't supposed to be like telling on who they fucked and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be some shit that, you know what I mean? If you around your niggas, yeah, I'll bust shorty ass. But that type shit, you ain't got to really go there. But if you gonna go there for real. Clowning him. Talking about he needed help. He was at a weak point in his life, a weak point. Bitch, you gave him some pussy. How was he weak? And he smashed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna do the shit like a real nigga would do it. Like a motherfucker would do it. Don't do it on no little boy shit, dog. Not on no little boy shit. Don't do it on no little boy shit, dog. You gotta be a G about that shit. You gotta be a G about that shit, cause she got a fucking husband. That's one of the fucking popular faces in Hollywood. You don't want them to embarrass you. So you gotta get them first, man. You know what I'm saying? I open that bitch wide the fuck out. And Angela Yee would have been sitting there like, holy shit, this nigga right here. Instead of sitting there like she was a fucking psychiatrist or some shit, looking in your face like she was sorry for you. You know what I mean? Like wildfire. Like wildfire. See, that's the thing, that's the thing. That's the thing, like, you see her shit, you see her platform, like, her shit is like all out there. Her shit is out there. She got like Oprah, she got almost like a Oprah platform. You know what I'm saying? So she got like an Oprah platform. So, nigga, nobody gonna really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like Jada, they gonna fuck with Jada. They gonna believe her shit. Especially like people, they not gonna believe her, but they gonna like be like, all right, we get it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna understand like, yo, we get it. We get it. Bitches gonna show some sympathy for her. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you was a nigga that's from the hood, like, trust me, this is how you could tell a nigga from one side and a nigga from this side. Because either you ain't gonna say shit or you gonna say some real shit. You either gonna keep your mouth shut or you gonna let that shit fly for real. Off the rip. You gonna let that shit go. Or you just not gonna say shit. You just gonna be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? You just keep that shit to yourself. You know what I'm saying? With just some good pussy, it was a good moment in your life. You know what I mean? But if you really was angry and you had some shit on to get off your chest, you would have said it the way a nigga from the hood would say it. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't fuck with you after you said that shit. After you air them out, they wouldn't fuck with you no more. They would have been like, nah, this little motherfucker crazy. We definitely don't want to get on his bad side. We don't want to get on this nigga bad side. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to August Alsina, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into this street ball shit, they talking about the fucking the world closing again. And I don't think, like, you know what I'm saying? I understand they had to open shit up. They had to do what they had to do. They had to open up the world. They had to give people some activities. You know what I mean? People wanted to go out. They went outside. They went to the beaches. The beaches was open. They went around. They did things. That's good. That's good. But now they saying how this shit is like spiking again. And this coronavirus shit is going up again. So now they thinking about closing a lot of stuff down. Like in Florida, they closing the beaches down. In Delaware, they like, in New Jersey, they don't want people from Delaware coming into New Jersey without being quarantined and all this shit. They don't want people from Delaware moving. Like, the shit is only in Delaware. Like, motherfuckers in New Jersey get this shit too. So they shutting down. They taking people liquor licenses. You know what I mean? Two restaurants got their liquor license taken today for not moving accordingly to the coronavirus thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know it's people private. They probably got private investigators walking around, or you got people with their cell phones just taking pictures of little things and just telling on motherfuckers this shit. It ain't right. It ain't right. Because people lose out. People lose out. It's like they bread and butter, man. A restaurant, you know how hard it is for somebody to open up a restaurant and a bar? A liquor license costs bread. Them shits ain't cheap. You gotta pay a lot of money for a liquor license. You know what I'm saying? You might not even see a return on your investment. You got your liquor license, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. You get that license taken, it's like, oh, shit. You can't serve no food anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just cold out here, man. It's cold. It's cold-blooded, man. It's cold-blooded. And this whole second closure is going to mess with places like Atlantic City again, Las Vegas again, Florida, like, excuse me, like Orlando. Disney World didn't even open up. They're about to start basketball again on the end of this month, 31st, I think. I'm watching baseball today, and they in a stadium with no fans. The stadium got fake crowd noise and just the umpire. Only thing you hear is the umpire. And it's players playing baseball. I said, that's some bullshit. That's whack. Who the fuck want to sit through some shit like that? Who want to watch that on TV, dog? Who wants to watch baseball with no audience on TV? It's already boring with an audience. Baseball boring as shit with an audience. So can you imagine with no audience how fucking crazy that shit'll look? Come on, son. Come on, son. Figure this shit the fuck out, man. Figure this out. Whether y'all just gonna have to put the seats like spread out and only allow a certain amount of fans in there. But y'all gonna have to figure this out. Cause football season is coming. Y'all cannot fuck up football season. Just don't fuck up football season. I need to watch my Giants. You know. Growing up in a neighborhood, you know, I'm from Brooklyn, Bushwick. I used to travel back and forth to Philly, Jersey. It was always me traveling, me and my brothers and sisters and stuff. We would travel from Brooklyn, Jersey, Philly, and back. That was the route when we were young. We used to play basketball a lot. So like I said, we were gonna talk about street ball. I was texting somebody today, and I told him, I said, we talking about street ball today. I expected a bigger crowd in my Instagram, but I said, we're gonna be talking about street ball today. You might want to join in, and because he's considered a street ball legend, and I'm talking about Lenny Cook. I remember when I first came home, I did a little stretch. I went away for a couple years. I came home, my younger brother was working at this place. It's an after school program called The Beacon. And it was in Brooklyn, New York, in Bushwick, Halsey, 296. A lot of people familiar with that school. So I go into the gym. I go catch him when he's coming off of work. I go in there and watch him. He's working, and I'm in the cut just chilling, watching the guys play basketball. So with this one guy that I seen, and he was tall, and he had these long arms, and he had this he was built you know what I'm saying, his shoulders was crazy and everything. So I'm looking at the game. I'm watching them play basketball, and my brother comes up to me, says, "Yo, he nice, right?" I said, "Yeah, he get busy." So I didn't know at the time that was Lenny Cook, and I'm talking about he was chefing these young boys in the gym, but everybody didn't look like they were on his level. So I was like, nah, maybe he just busting their ass because they small. Because he really was busting their ass. Finger rolls. He was slapping boards, yamming it. He was hitting jumpers. Nothing he did, everything he did went in. This particular day when I was watching it. So I'm like, damn, dude, nice. And I played basketball. But I didn't play that day. I was just because I was really rusty. So I'm just watching. I'm like, all right. So something told me, said, keep an eye on this dude. So whenever they had whenever I heard it was a basketball tournament and he was playing, I wanted to go see. Because I wanted to see if he was really that dude. And I'm talking about when I watched this ball play, he was baking the shit out of dudes. Cooking them, really busting their ass, and I couldn't believe this shit. I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, God damn! I'm like, this dude gonna go to the NBA. I'm like, this motherfucker right here is gonna go pro, and he's gonna bust these dudes' ass in the league. But that league shit, that's besides the point. We talking about street ball. He is considered as a street ball legend. Blacktop legend. So when you see him on that court, I remember one time we ran up, we going to Harlem. I heard he gonna be in Harlem. It was a bunch of us. We following, we up there, we going uptown. Rucker Park. This young boy is fucking making these dudes look crazy up there. Crazy. And I'm sitting in that motherfucker stand. I'm like, I knew this dude was nice, but I ain't know he was this nice. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of dudes out here might say, oh, well, he ain't do this. Oh, well, he ain't do that. I don't give a fuck if he ain't go to the league. Some dudes don't need to go to the league. Only thing that shit gonna do is change their game. This dude was out here making noise on the court. Straight up. Straight up, I'm talking about all around game. The boy was physically in shape. He was smashing dudes. Total package. Total package. I watched this documentary a while ago, a couple years ago. I watched that shit. And I looked at, and I'm watching it, and when I seen, if you ain't watch it, I'm just gonna say, at the end of the documentary, I ain't almost cry, I just looked at that shit like, oh man, no. You know what I'm saying? But I got it, I understood it, and I said, damn, that was deep. I said, that was deep. That was fucking deep. And you know, a motherfucker like him that was that good, legendary good, when they could call you a legend, you don't got to worry about no NBA, because it's NBA motherfuckers that will never be called a legend, and they good in the NBA and won't even go back to their old neighborhood and be called a legend. This dude is legendary status. You know, so I'm basically making up for yesterday when I said I was going to talk about Lenny Cook yesterday. I said street ball today. We can talk about street ball Monday when more people come in to the podcast on Instagram. You know, but today we're going to talk about him, his game, and what he did. He was from Brooklyn, so Brooklyn motherfuckers already feel like they the shit. But when you give us a player like Stephon Marbury, Jamal Tinsley, Lenny Cook, all these other, it's so many other guys, Booger, there's so many other players. But when you give us a guy like that, you can't tell these little motherfuckers from Brooklyn nothing now. Sebastian, Sebastian Telfair. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about this kid right here was special. Lenny Cook, I'm talking about. He was special. Special. So my thing is, like, when I see, like, some people would have had that status and it would have went to their head, and then they didn't go to the NBA and they would have crashed and burnt. But no, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. He's doing all right. He's living his life. And that makes me very, 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 very proud because I like stuff like that. I like stuff like that. I like to see young men. We all the same age bracket. It ain't like nobody's older than anybody. But when I see young men like that, he lived a lifestyle that he can tell us. He can talk to people for days. He has a story to tell. He has if say if this was a church, he has a testimony. He can tell his story to people and they will love him for just his story alone. Because his story is not to be frowned upon. You know, nobody knows his story better than him. You can say whatever you want to say. You can say, oh, he didn't make it to the NBA. He was a failure. No, he wasn't a failure. Because I look at it like he gave it his best shot. He gave it his best shot. You know, he's still alive. He's still alive. He's still legendary. He's going to take that legendary status with him for the rest of his life. That is going to follow him forever. Because say he would have went to the NBA, right? Say he would have went to the NBA. He's in the NBA, right? He averages 3.5 points a game. He's not the legend from Brooklyn. He's a bum in the NBA. You know, motherfuckers ain't gonna get. People forget fast. They're gonna forget everything he did on that court, on that blacktop. They're gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker was getting his ass bust by Tracy McGrady. Yo, you seen LeBron James dunk on Lenny Cook? You know what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna say. That's what they're gonna remember. They're not gonna remember the Rookie of the Year, the Rookie MVP in Rucker Park. They're not gonna remember all that shit. They're not gonna remember what he did. So going to the NBA isn't a bad thing. Not going to the NBA isn't a bad thing. He still has his reputation. That's all you got. He's legendary status. Shout out to Lenny Cook, man. Shout out to Lenny Cook. Shout out to him. Because he's somebody. He's somebody that didn't fold and didn't fall victim to the people out here. He didn't let the noise make him crack. He's still around. And that's a blessing, to able to still be here. To able to still be here. And just talk about the story. See, it's people like him that has a story to tell. Like I said, he can sit amongst NBA legends. And these NBA legends, I'm guaranteed, is something in him that they see that they probably like, damn. They still look up to him. They still look at him like he's that dude. Some of them might not, but they still gonna look at him like he's that dude. If you don't know who Lenny Cook is out there and you listen to this podcast, just YouTube him. YouTube is old school, his old highlights. YouTube is old highlights. We talked about a lot of basketball players on this show, and I'm glad that we had a chance to sit and talk about Lenny Cook. I would have loved for more people on Instagram to be in here where we can share stories and stuff about what you remember him by as for or whatever, and did you see him play, and people could exchange stories about him, because I want them to hear this podcast. I want them to be like, oh shit, people really remember, because ain't nobody forget. It's just now we got the platform where we can speak on this type of shit. And I really think that a lot of basketball players that are in a position to talk about, just show the legends, get the legends their props, talk about them. I heard Kevin Garnett speak on Lenny Cook one time on an All the Smoke podcast. He gave him his props, as he should. As he should. It's Newwave Podcast, man. Happy Friday to everybody. If y'all got any plans tonight, just be careful out there. Keep it clean. And Monday we'll be back at it. We'll be talking Monday. Until then, if you never listen to Newwave Podcast, you can check out the podcast if you're on Instagram. The link's in the bio. Leave a comment, leave a voice comment. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say, what you guys want to hear. And we out. Peace.